What's up, people? Did I make this public? Damn, dog. This wasn't supposed to be public. Oh well, since you're here. This was supposed to be unlisted. Wow, y'all catching some real behind the scenes shit here at my house. I am experimenting with new camera angles, actually. And I usually do this unlisted. But I don't really care. Y'all are here. What's up? What's up with y'all? I'll talk with y'all while I'm playing with my setup. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Testing the lighting, testing new angles, and I'm thinking about dropping my backdrop down a little bit too. Let me close the door. Leah's asleep. I don't want to wake her up. What's up, y'all? This was not intended to be a chat. This was not intended to be a chat. This is what I do. This is how I figure out my new camera angles. This is how I do it. And I forgot to hit unlisted. I could have swore I hit unlisted. Oh well, I'm feeling good actually. I'm feeling good, y'all. I don't know if that doesn't get enough of. See, what I really wish I could do is stream live and get somehow it be in landscape like this and still me be able to get a view of the cards and me, you know. My backdrop I'm gonna have to fix anyway. My cats ripped it down in the middle of the night. I woke up this morning and my backdrop was ripped off the wall. My cats ripped it down. Oh, anywho. So what's up with y'all? What's up? We might as well sit here and chat while y'all are watching me piddle around with my studio. We might as well sit here and chat. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Who all's tuned in? There's only 15 of you in here. Tammy, Terry, Mary, Boston, Aquarius Angel. What's up, y'all? Yeah, I'm going to be experimenting with some new camera angles. This one right here looks like, except for the wrinkles in the, I'm gonna have to fix all that. I'll get all that taken care of before I go live today. Anyway, fuck it, whatever. So what's up with y'all? I'm sitting here. We are liking the new place, Tammy. Loving it, actually. Loving it, loving it. The only thing that's been annoying is that we went and we bought all of our furniture and and it ended up, we got everything except they had to order the mattresses. All the mattresses. It's like, why would you not have some inventory of everything that you have available here that you're showing? You know? Like, how can you say, oh, well, we don't have that in stock? Well, what the fuck do you mean you don't have it in stock? You got to order it from where? Why does it take 2 weeks? A week to 2 weeks to get it, you know? So, that's been annoying. It's been really irritating. But thankfully, you know, we have that big couch for the kids to lay on, and we have the kids' old bed from the old apartment that we've been using until we get our mattresses in, which hopefully that'll be today. Yeah, no, we still ain't got them. We was hoping it'd be yesterday. But I spent another night on, it's not the worst thing in the world. I can't bitch, you know, I gotta catch myself. Sometimes, you know, not being too ungrateful. We got this thing, it's about this thick. It's like this big $150, I guess, extension thing for, like, you put it over top of a bed. And I don't know, but it's just, you can lay it on the floor and it feels great. You lay on it and it feels like this comfy mattress thing. I don't even know what you call it. I'm still waking up, so I don't know the word. I'm still waking up and I got my monster. I just dropped the kids off at school. And this, for those of you just now tuning in, this was an accident. This actually was not supposed to be a chat. This is what I do to test my camera angle. This is what I do to test and check and make sure everything is centered correctly and that everything that I'm got the good lighting, the light beamed on my face right, and that the backdrop is at the right angle. And this is how I do it. But usually what I do is I make it unlisted, an unlisted video, so that nobody can see it but me. Because if I just try to open up my normal camera and do this, then it's not the same. It's not the same format and layout as the actual YouTube video. So I'll just go ahead and pull up YouTube and stream live unlisted. And I don't know what I called it, check or test or something like that. And I forgot to hit unlisted. So everybody showed up to watch me setting up my setup here. Anyway, though, I don't know how long this is going to be a chat, because like I said, it's really super early in the morning. Oh, Leah's in the other room asleep, which is a pretty good distance away. But so I may not wake her up, but I'm still waking up myself. So use 2 cameras and a split screen. I mean, I could, but I've seen readers do that, and I just don't think it looks good. It just doesn't look cool to me. If there was some way, one thing I have seen readers do is I have seen readers do like this somehow. I don't know what they're using. I don't know if they're using a phone or just maybe a better camera, but they'll have it in landscape like this, but you can see the reader and the cards. That's what I wish I could do, because I honestly don't like it in portrait. I've only been doing it in portrait so that you can see the cards too, you know? And it was always a real big pet peeve of mine when readers would do videos just showing their hands. I can't stand that. I can't stand that shit. So I don't want to do that either, you know? I don't know. I have been lately going through and thinking, are there any changes that need to be made? And if so, what? What kind of changes should or could be made to what I do? Because months ago, I completely fell out of the loop of YouTube. I have no idea what's going on in the tarot community. I have absolutely no clue what new readers are out there or what anybody else is doing. Or I pretty much tuned all that out. Several fucking months ago, I tuned all that out and I stopped paying. So I have no clue. So now I'm sitting here thinking, man, I'm getting not bored. I don't want to say I'm getting bored. I just always want to make sure that, I don't know how to word it. I always want to make sure that when you come and watch my channel, that it's something watchable, you know? And I do the best that I can, like I said, not compare myself to other people. But, and it's really difficult once I quit watching everybody. I tuned all of it out. Even like some of my readers that were friends, like Illust Illuminator and whatnot. I just don't watch tarot videos anymore at all. You know, it's nothing to do with anybody specifically. I just don't watch them. I don't turn to tarot anymore, you know. And I'm pretty much focused all of my energy on my business. And you know what I'm saying? So long story short, I've been thinking to myself, what could I do to make sure that the viewing experience here is something that people aren't going to get too bored with all the time? You know what I mean? Like my advice during the readings. Oh, yeah. I've been hearing that a lot here lately. Been hearing that a whole lot, that people like my advice more than anything, which is good. That's good. Because, this is one thing that I haven't been talking about a whole lot either. I haven't, here lately over the past maybe month or two, I've been talking more about it, but most people don't know. I've told my story a million times as to how I got here, where I am, but most people don't really understand that my real passion is law of attraction. That's my real passion. I've been obsessed with law of attraction and energy and vibration and manifestation since long before I knew what the hell a tarot card even was. I did attend the School of Thought Mechanics, which is the #1 mind mastery school in the world. I have just spent years researching and studying ever since I've told a lot of you, I've heard my story of when I found my very first law of attraction video on YouTube. The story is, and this is a true story, I'm not making any of this shit up. I spent 6 months homeless. Spent 6 months, the last half of 2015, from August to December. I spent literally homeless, living under a bridge, like living outside, living under a bridge, living in the woods in a tent, and eating out of trash cans. 6 months. 6 months I spent living like that. Well, wintertime rolled around, and I didn't want to live on the streets in the wintertime. You know, a lot of people did. I didn't want to do it. I said, fuck this. I turned myself into a homeless shelter. And January of 2016, like just a few weeks after I got off the streets, I had acquired a free government-issued cell phone. You know, they call them Obama phones. And it's basically where you show up. They would set up little tents, little stands outside. And here's the funny story about that. I want to share this story. I don't think I've ever told anybody. I had turned myself into a recovery program because I was really, really, really bad alcoholic. I'm talking a gallon of vodka a day. I was drinking 1 gallon of vodka every day, and I quit. And I had been sober for a little over a month. And I left the homeless shelter that I was in to go turn myself into a sober living home because I turned myself into the Healing Place in Louisville, Kentucky. And I left there and left the program because they wouldn't let you work. And I wanted a job. I wanted to be able to actually work and get back up on my feet, you know? So I left the program and I'm like, okay, well, I need me a cell phone. I'm fresh off the streets. I'm homeless, but I have nowhere to go. I need a cell phone. So I got to figure out where one of those little stands, they would set up a little tent just in random spots in the city. And you could go and show your, either your government issued insurance, you know, like your Medicare or whatever, Medicaid, whatever they call it. I don't know what that shit's called. Or your food stamps and your ID. Like if you showed them your food stamp card and your ID, and they would give you a free cell phone that comes with so many minutes on it every month. Well, I'm walking around looking for one of these tents. I see a full unopened beer sitting on the ground. And I'm like, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Keep walking, you know, because I've been sober for a while. And I didn't, you know, I'm like, keep walking, don't do it, don't do it. So I'm walking all over the place. About an hour later, I'm like, man, I cannot find, I need a phone though. I have to have a phone, you know, so I can go apply for jobs so they can call me and whatnot. And finally I said, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to go back and I'm going to go get that beer. Because I can't find one of these tents where they set up and give these phones out. So fuck it, dude. I'm just going to go get a beer and say fuck it. Maybe I'll just go back to the streets. So I went back to find that beer. And right where that beer was sitting, there was a tent. They had set up a tent and was giving out these free government-issued Obama phones. And anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. Long story short, I was living in a sober living home, fresh off the streets being homeless, and I was sitting in McDonald's one day on 12th and Broadway in Louisville, Kentucky. And I was sitting in McDonald's using their Wi-Fi to watch YouTube videos and ran across my very first Law of Attraction video. The video was called, I Saw the Law of Attraction in My NDE. That's what the title was. And it was from a lady named Terry Rose. I posted it on my community tab several weeks ago. I think a lot of y'all saw that. I didn't know what that meant. I remember very vividly, wondering, Law of Attraction? What the hell does that mean? Because I was really fascinated with near-death experiences and near-death literature and whatnot. And I'm like, dude, that sounds cool. What's that mean? I was always looking up near-death experiences and researching life after death and whatnot. And I was just watching some NDE testimonials, bored, sitting at McDonald's, and I saw one that said, I saw the Law of Attraction in my NDE. I had never heard of this concept. That was in January 2016. I watched that video and I'm like, this is the coolest fucking shit I've ever heard in my life. And I was hooked on it at that point, at that moment. January 2016, fresh off the streets, living in a sober living home. I had acquired a job through a temporary service working at a concrete factory. It was called Baton. It's a place in Louisville, Kentucky. It's this warehouse that makes bricks. You got to make these bricks by hand. And have y'all ever seen like these indoor fancy indoor bricks that they use to put on fireplaces? They're long, skinny, bricks that are like that long, and they're skinny, and they're fancy looking. They're on fancy fireplaces. It's a factory that made those things, making them by hand. And this place would hire anybody, right? Anybody. Your record did not matter. This is the place where you could go, and most people who went there, who went to get a job there, were people fresh out of prison. People who had just done like 20 years in prison for shit that would blow your mind. Like the worst crimes you can possibly imagine committing. People would get out of prison and go get a job at this place because they would hire anybody. And me, fresh off the streets, being homeless, I don't have a background. You know, I got like a few misdemeanors on my record, and that's it. And I don't care. I'll just take anything, you know? And that's where they sent me, and that's what I was doing. So at that point, and I was making minimum wage. I was making like, $7.50 an hour, $8 maybe, $8 an hour. Back-breaking work, dude. I'm talking 14 hours a day making bricks in this concrete factory. I mean, just you get off work and you can't even move, you know what I'm saying? And I stumbled across my very first Law of Attraction video on YouTube, became obsessed with it, and that was January 2016. Here I am today. So, you understand a little bit more about why I give the advice that I give in my videos. See what I'm saying? That's a little bit of my backstory. I think that's probably more layers peeled off of the story than I've ever told. Ever. And I didn't plan this, as most of you all know. Those of you who have just tuned in, this was not intended to be a live chat. This was a complete and total accident. Complete and total accident. What I did was, I'm testing new camera angles and maybe a new placement of my backdrop. And I was, what I usually do when I do that is I turn it on live, unlisted, so that nobody can see it, which is the same thing that I do when I do a personal reading, by the way. If you get a personal reading from me, I stream it the exact same way, live, unlisted. Nobody can see it unless you have the link. But I forgot to hit unlisted. I forgot to hit it, and it was public. So I'm like, well, I guess the universe wants me to talk to the people today for some reason. So I just turned this into a live chat, and I'm just rolling with it. So, anywho, I haven't been ignoring comments. I've just been blibbity blabbing. Blibbity blabbing. Thank you, Deanna. What's up, Rachel? How y'all doing? How's everybody doing? Again, don't know how long this chat's gonna be, but typically when something happens like that, it's no accident. So I'll probably retitle this video. I'll probably retitle it and leave it up on my channel. Maybe, again, maybe there's something in the video here that somebody needs to hear. What I think is the best starting point for Law of Attraction. That's a good question. That's actually a very important question, because I think that one of the biggest, that's actually my goal. That's my goal, is to be able to reach people and connect on a level that anybody can understand and connect to, you know? And I think that's one of the things that irritates me the most about the Law of Attraction, is that most people who figure it out, they figure it out, they figure out the mechanism, they figure out how it works, and then they come to the public and they're talking about it from an advanced level. You know, they're talking about it using all these terms that people don't understand. They're using all these ideas that, when you're new to the Law of Attraction, or anything on the awakening path for that matter, especially the Law of Attraction, when you're new to it, you got to take little bitty baby steps, you know? You got to take little bitty baby steps, because the ideas and the basically the way the system works, you have to completely rip apart every single belief system that you have, that you don't even know you have. You don't even realize that you are viewing the world this way. You don't even realize that before you began collecting and storing long-term memories, you have been programmed and indoctrinated to get in your own way and work against yourself. It takes time. It takes time. You know, you have to start down here and slowly work your way up. Slowly work your way up. Slowly work your way up. you know, and a good starting point. That's a really good question. That's a really good question. I don't know. I don't know. I do the best that I can to make sure that, again, my approach with the way I talk about it and the way I connect, my goal behind it is that I want to be able to reach a group of people on a mass level that nobody's ever been able to reach before. Now, like I've said before, I'm not out to debunk anybody. I'm not out to tell you that anybody else's method is wrong. It's just that what most other people are doing is that when you got to start down here, most other people have already figured it out and they just take a few steps down here and they're, you know what I'm saying? So there's still so many people out there left out of the loop because it just doesn't make sense. And what do? Honestly, when we hear something that we don't quite comprehend or understand, we just kind of chuck it aside and say, I don't have time for that, right? Whatever, that's bullshit. I don't understand that, whatever, yeah, whatever. So getting after a while, it just kind of starts to go in one ear and out the other, right? That's the reason why I have the approach that I do, because again, my goal is to not debunk other people, but to be able to reach a larger number of people than most other people do. You know, most other people, they get out and they start talking about law of attraction, this and that. And not that they don't reach a large number of people, but they only reach like a selected collective group, a very small group, you know, because not everybody can understand their approach. So I don't know how successful I am with it. I'm really not sure. I haven't even really thought about it, but that's my intention. That's my intention, you know. A live random chat. Yeah, this chat was an accident. This was not supposed to be a chat. Wasn't supposed to be a chat, but love my posts on Facebook. Yeah, thank you, Terry. I am taking it as I feel it. Because the funny thing is I'm starting to get more and more people coming to me for things non-related to tarot. And that's good. Well, that's good in one way, but it scares me in another way. Because I feel the same intuitive nudge that I felt before I started reading tarot on YouTube, which was basically, to give you all another rundown of my backstory, the way I ended up reading tarot on YouTube was that I stumbled across a tarot video by Carol's Universe. And it told the story of a situation I was dealing with. And I was like, dude, holy shit. And I spent close to a year, just obsessively watching all of the general readings from all the YouTubers. Well, not all of them. I had, shit, back then, fuck, I first started this in December of 2017. So pretty much all of 2018, let's see, 2017, about 9 months. Back then, though, I don't think there was as many people doing it as there are now. Not really. So I had maybe a group of 5 or 10 readers that I would watch, but that's what I would do. And I just got really irritated after the first few months. Like, man, I'm not getting the clarity that I need. I'm not getting the answer that I want to hear listening to these general readings. I'm just, you know, so I was like, I'm going to go up to the spiritual shop and get cards and learn how to read myself. That's how I'll get the answers that I'm looking for. Well, I didn't get the answers that I was looking for, but I started feeling the intuitive nudge because I already had my YouTube channel up and I had like maybe 900 people watching me. I had like 900 followers on my YouTube channel, and I was talking about I would do spiritual videos and Aquarius videos and little astrology videos, and like I said, I had an audience of about 900, close to 1,000 people, and I was starting to feel the nudge pushing me to start reading tarot on YouTube, and it scared me. I'm like, no, dude, no, I'm not doing that. That would be so fucking embarrassing. That would be the most humiliating thing I could possibly do. No, I'm not doing that. So for months, probably no less than 3 months, No less than 3 months after playing with the cards and obsessively learning how to read just to gain clarity on my situation. That's it. That's the only reason I came to tarot. Then I started feeling the nudge. Okay, it's your turn now. No, I'm not doing that. No, hell no, I'm not reading tarot on YouTube. And I started feeling that nudge and feeling it. And I fought it until it was just so chaotically loud in my head that I could not fight the impulse any longer and decided to give it a try. And basically that's where I am today. Long story short, I am feeling that same nudge, that same push to turn the wheel and start taking my career in a different direction. And it's scary. It's scaring me a little bit because I'm starting to get a very large number of people coming to me asking for things not related to tarot, life coaching advice, law of attraction advice, you know, things like that. And I'm like, I'm scared. It's scary, you know. it's a little bit nerve-wracking. I have no clue what's going to become of that. I don't know. Knowing me, though, I'll probably just fight the urge until I can't anymore. It's just like the last time, you know. The point of needing to change direction. Yeah. Please see, don't stop. Don't stop what? What are you talking about? Don't stop reading tarot? I don't really plan to stop reading tarot. Not really. But I just see, I don't know, I just see signs of my career at least expanding. Let's just put it that way. At least expanding to something that's not tarot related, you know? And I've had this voice screaming at me ever since I very first started that this is just a stepping stone, basically. That all this is just one little stepping stone, you know? That I'm capable of a lot more than reading tarot cards, you know? But hey, it's fun. It's fun. This is an interesting experience, regardless of where my career goes. I guarantee you what, 20 years from now, I'm going to look back on this, and this is going to be a very, very interesting story to tell, you know? Very interesting story. So, start another channel for it? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, y'all. I really have no idea. I've thought about starting another channel, though. I really have. Even aside from this one, I've thought about it. What I really want, and I've thought about it, but it just doesn't feel right yet. Doesn't quite feel right, as I want like a real candid, behind the scenes. Like, I know you all get to take little bitty glimpses. Leah just texted me. All right, I'm gonna get off here in a couple of minutes. You get to little bitty glimpses into my life, but I want like a real candid, behind the scenes thing, you know, where you can like really see what it's like for me to live my life. You know, more than just get on and chat and tell you about it, you know. That's what I would like to do, but it doesn't quite feel right yet, but I don't know. But anywho, my lovely lady has woken up and she sent me a text message. So again, those of you who just now tuned in, this was not supposed to be a live chat. This was a complete and total accident, but I decided to go ahead and run with it. And I figured that maybe this could turn into a conversation that somebody needed to hear. So I went ahead and rolled with it and ran with it. I'm going to go ahead and hop on out of here. It's been a good little half-hour chat. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I greatly appreciate those of you that tuned in. So I'll see y'all later at some point. I don't know when. I don't know what I'm doing this morning yet. So anyway, see y'all later. Have a good one.